This is going to sound uncomfortable, but if you stay with it, you may recognize yourself. Nothing in your life is falling apart, and that's exactly why this feeling is so confusing. You are functioning, you are showing up, you are doing what is expected of you. So why do you feel quietly disconnected from your own life? Why does rest not restore you? Why does achievement feel strangely hollow the moment you reach it? This is not a motivational video. This is not about fixing yourself. This is about naming something most people feel, but rarely admit. A slow internal collapse that happens not because you failed, but because you adapted for too long. If you've ever thought, I don't feel like myself anymore, listen closely. The exhaustion you feel is not physical. You can rest and still feel tired. You can sleep 8 hours and wake up empty. You can take breaks and still feel behind. Because the thing draining you is not effort, it is misalignment. You are spending your attention on things that do not nourish your mind. You are reacting more than choosing. You are consuming more than creating. You are adapting constantly, but rarely asking why. The human mind was not designed to be in response mode all the time. It needs periods of depth, of meaning, of internal coherence. When those disappear, energy disappears with them. Modern life rewards speed. Immediate answers, quick opinions, constant availability. It does not reward reflection. It does not reward uncertainty. It does not reward slow understanding. So you learn to move faster than you feel. You learn to speak before you think. You learn to suppress hesitation. Over time, you lose contact with your own inner signals. You stop trusting discomfort. You stop listening to boredom. You override intuition with obligation. And because this happens gradually, you don't notice the cost. Productivity promises control. It says if you organize your time well enough, your life will make sense. But productivity without meaning becomes self-erasure. You become efficient at things you don't care about. You optimize routines that drain you. You improve systems that were never aligned with you. And the more efficient you become, the harder it is to stop. Because stopping would require asking a question you've been avoiding. Why am I doing this at all? People think distraction is weakness. It's not. It's self-protection. When your inner life feels incoherent, silence becomes threatening. So you fill it. With noise, with scrolling, with constant stimulation. Distraction keeps you from noticing what's missing. It numbs the quiet discomfort that would otherwise demand attention. Ignored signals don't disappear. They turn into anxiety, into irritability, into numbness, into a sense of being behind even when nothing is chasing you. Your mind starts attacking you at night because it has no other space. Your body tightens because it has been carrying unprocessed tension for years. This is not weakness. It is accumulated neglect. Awareness rarely arrives dramatically. It comes as a quiet realization. Something like, I don't feel like myself anymore. That sentence is powerful because it implies there was once a self you were connected to. Awareness begins when you stop asking how to fix yourself and start asking what you've been ignoring. Slowness is not failure. It is processing. Some minds require time to integrate experience. Some insights arrive only when pressure is removed. When slowness is treated as incompetence, people learn to abandon their natural rhythm. And when you abandon your rhythm, clarity disappears. At some point, achievement stops working, not because it is bad, but because it is incomplete. You begin craving coherence instead of progress, understanding instead of recognition, alignment instead of acceleration. This is not regression, it is maturation. Healing does not start with massive change, it starts with attention. You notice what drains you, you notice what restores you, you notice how your body responds to certain environments. You stop forcing motivation. You start respecting energy. You don't rebuild your life overnight. You rebuild your relationship with your mind. You create space. You reduce unnecessary noise. You allow yourself to think without rushing to conclusions. You stop asking how to keep up. You start asking how to stay honest. If you feel tired in a way sleep doesn't fix, this message is for you. You are not broken. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are responding intelligently to a life that has not given you room to breathe. The most radical thing you can do is slow down enough to listen, not to the world, but to yourself. Because the collapse you fear is not what's happening. What's happening is awareness, and awareness is where rebuilding begins. Awareness is not just a thought exercise. It is a way of inhabiting your days. Start small. Notice your mornings. How does your body feel when you wake? What thoughts are already active before the world demands your attention? Notice without trying to correct or judge. Throughout the day, pause before responding. Notice how your mind reacts to stress, to praise, to trivial distractions. Each pause is a tiny reclaiming of agency. Each observation strengthens your connection with yourself. Life constantly encroaches on your internal space. Notifications, tasks, and expectations pull attention outward. Schedule intentional spaces for reflection. Even 5 minutes of stillness matters. Close your eyes. Breathe. Let thoughts arise and pass. Observe your mental patterns. Record them if needed. This is not a luxury. It is the foundation of intelligent living. The mind that is never observed is a mind on autopilot. Notice the recurring themes in your life, the situations that frustrate you, the relationships that repeat the same patterns, the internal reactions that feel automatic. These cycles are not flaws, they are information. They are maps of how your mind naturally operates. The first step toward change is seeing them clearly. When you begin to recognize these patterns without judgment, you move from reaction to response. This is the essence of intelligent living. Consistency matters more than intensity. 5 minutes of reflection daily is more powerful than an hour once a month. Develop rituals, journaling, mindful walks, or even simple pauses before meals or meetings. Over time, these small acts compound into clarity, resilience, and authentic decision-making. Life does not pause for your awareness practice. Demands, deadlines, and chaos continue. This is where internal intelligence matters most. Awareness is not just a thought exercise. It is a way of inhabiting your days. Start small. Notice your mornings. How does your body feel when you wake? What thoughts are already active before the world demands your attention? Notice without trying to correct or judge. Throughout the day, pause before responding. Notice how your mind reacts to stress, to praise, to trivial distractions. Each pause is a tiny reclaiming of agency. Each observation strengthens your connection with yourself. Life constantly encroaches on your internal space. Notifications, tasks, and expectations pull attention outward. Schedule intentional spaces for reflection. Even 5 minutes of stillness matters. Close your eyes, breathe, let thoughts arise and pass. Observe your mental patterns, record them if needed. This is not a luxury. It is the foundation of intelligent living. The mind that is never observed is a mind on autopilot. Notice the recurring themes in your life, the situations that frustrate you, the relationships that repeat the same patterns, the internal reactions that feel automatic. These cycles are not flaws, they are information. They are maps of how your mind naturally operates. The first step toward change is seeing them clearly. When you begin to recognize these patterns without judgment, you move from reaction to response. This is the essence of intelligent living. Consistency matters more than intensity. 5 minutes of reflection daily is more powerful than an hour once a month. Develop rituals, journaling, mindful walks, or even simple pauses before meals or meetings. Over time, these small acts compound into clarity, resilience, and authentic decision-making. Life does not pause for your awareness practice. Demands, deadlines, and chaos continue. This is where internal intelligence matters most. By knowing your patterns, you can respond instead of reacting. You can set boundaries. You can choose when to engage and when to withdraw. External pressure remains constant, but your relationship to it changes. You are no longer at its mercy. As you integrate reflection into daily life, intuition becomes clearer. The subtle signals your body and mind have been sending for years are no longer ignored. Notice them, trust them. Let them guide decisions, both small and large. This is intelligence in motion, quiet, internal, and relational, rather than performative. Energy ebbs and flows naturally. Noticing these cycles prevents misalignment and exhaustion. Honor the times when focus is high and energy is abundant. Use them for creation, connection, and contribution. Respect the low-energy periods. Use them for reflection, rest, or integration. Intelligence thrives when you align with natural rhythms, not against them. Your internal clarity impacts relationships profoundly. When you respond rather than react, conversations become meaningful. Conflicts are navigated with awareness. You recognize patterns not only in yourself but also in others, allowing empathy without loss of boundaries. Relationships reflect back your level of self-awareness. The more you understand yourself, the richer your connections become. You cannot control everything. Awareness is not about manipulation or preemptive solutions. It is about presence. Witnessing your thoughts, emotions, and reactions without judgment. Responding with intentionality, not compulsion. Letting life unfold while staying aligned internally. This is freedom. This is intelligence. Intelligence is not proven in accolades, speed, or recognition. It is cultivated in alignment, awareness, and intentional action. By observing your mind, reclaiming attention, honoring natural rhythms, and integrating awareness into daily life, you step into a deeper form of living, one that is quieter, but infinitely more powerful. You no longer chase external validation or measure yourself against fleeting standards. You live in response to reality with clarity, curiosity, and depth. Growth is often invisible. You may not notice the small shifts in perception, patience, or emotional regulation day by day. Perhaps you respond calmly in a situation that once triggered panic. Perhaps you notice your energy patterns without frustration. Perhaps a relationship that once felt chaotic now flows with more understanding. These are signs of intelligence expanding quietly, like roots beneath the soil, unseen but strengthening the structure of your life. Awareness deepens when you revisit your experiences repeatedly. Cycles of reflection allow insights to mature. A decision made consciously today may reveal new layers of understanding in a week, a month, or a year. The mind needs time to integrate experiences. Reflection is not one-off, it is rhythmic. This rhythm is what makes your intelligence adaptive rather than rigid. Stillness is not empty. It is the canvas upon which clarity appears. Even 5 minutes of deliberate quiet can reset attention, stabilize emotion, and illuminate patterns unnoticed in constant motion. Stillness is a form of active engagement with your mind, a practice of listening to the subtleties you have ignored. Intelligence is relational. It emerges in the choices you make with attention, in how you orient to your environment, in what you allow to occupy your mental space. Observe where your attention flows naturally. Notice what you resist. Adjust gently without forcing change. This alignment of attention and intention is one of the most profound forms of self-directed intelligence. Life is unpredictable. Plans falter, people change, circumstances shift. The mind that has practiced observation, reflection, and alignment navigates uncertainty with grace. It does not resist change, nor does it collapse under it. It responds intelligently, grounded in internal coherence. Understanding yourself is an ongoing process. No single insight or practice completes the journey. Read, reflect, experiment, and adjust. Allow experiences to teach you about your energy, your focus, your emotional depth, and your relational patterns. Continuous learning within your own mind is a hallmark of sustained intelligence. You will change over time. Preferences, reactions, and rhythms shift. Trust this evolution. Do not cling rigidly to a past self or compare yourself with others. Each phase offers new opportunities for understanding, integration, and expression of intelligence. Self-knowledge is not about proving intelligence to anyone else. It is about cultivating a relationship with your own mind. When you know your patterns, your cycles, your natural rhythm, you can act with clarity, make decisions aligned with your values, and respond to life's demands without unnecessary strain. Once you develop this quiet intelligence within, it naturally extends outward. Your presence in interactions becomes more intentional. You notice unspoken dynamics. You respond rather than react. You create space for others to express themselves while maintaining your boundaries. This relational intelligence amplifies the quality of your life beyond the inner work. The ultimate expression of the intelligence cultivated through awareness is grace. A mind that has listened, integrated, and aligned can navigate complexity with ease. It chooses action when necessary, restraint when appropriate, and observation when clarity is required. Grace is not performative. It is the natural outcome of sustained internal intelligence. The journey does not end. Awareness, reflection, and integration are practices, not destinations. Each day offers new opportunities to observe, respond, and grow. Your quiet intelligence is not measured by speed, recognition, or output. It is reflected in the subtle shifts within you, the clarity in your decisions, and the depth of your presence. Continue to pause. Continue to notice. Continue to listen. Because the most intelligent act you can practice is not proving anything to the world, but cultivating alignment and understanding within yourself. Every moment holds information if you are willing to pay attention. Your breath, posture, mood swings, fleeting thoughts, and the way your attention shifts are all data points about your inner state. Have you ever wondered why some days feel effortless while others feel like climbing a mountain? The answer lies in noticing the invisible patterns that guide your energy. Start asking, what am I feeling right now and why? What is pulling my attention and what is draining it? These questions are the beginning of mastery. Transformation is not dramatic. It is the accumulation of small, consistent acts. 5 minutes of reflection, pausing before responding, journaling fleeting insights, observing cycles of energy. Imagine that 10 minutes a day for a year could rewire how you experience life. What would that life look like? These small practices compound into sustained clarity, emotional balance, and deeper self-trust. Noticing alone is not enough. The next step is acting with intention based on insights. If you recognize a habit that drains you, pause and choose differently. If a pattern in relationships repeats, respond consciously instead of reactively. What if you could stop repeating the same mistakes? Not because of willpower, but because your mind naturally aligned with your values. Intentional action bridges the gap between internal intelligence and real-world results. Your mind, body, and energy move in cycles. Some people work best in the morning, some in the evening. Some require solitude. Some require social energy. These patterns are personal, unique, and integral to intelligent living. Have you tried forcing your mind to adapt to a rhythm it was never meant to follow? Notice how much tension that creates. Align your work, reflection, and rest with your natural rhythms and the energy flows instead of being drained. Challenges are inevitable, but awareness allows you to respond with intelligence rather than fear or habit. Recognize emotional triggers. Notice where tension arises. Pause. Decide consciously. Hook. Next time life hits hard, what if you didn't just react but actually used the moment to understand yourself better? Resilience is the byproduct of deep self-knowledge, not brute strength. Your self-awareness does not exist in isolation. It affects how you relate to others, how you navigate social dynamics, and how you contribute to the world. Consider how your life might change if every interaction was informed by clarity, presence, and internal alignment, rather than reaction and habit. When your internal intelligence meets the external world, influence becomes effortless, conversations meaningful, and relationships harmonious. Reflection is no longer occasional, it becomes habitual. It is woven into the pauses of your day, the transitions between tasks, and the moments before sleep. Imagine ending each day not exhausted and scattered, but aware, coherent, and at peace. This lifestyle of reflective presence nurtures sustained intelligence, creativity, and emotional stability. One of the most liberating insights is that your intelligence is unique. It is not measured by speed, social performance, or external validation. Hook. What if the very thing that makes you feel behind is actually your unique form of genius? Release the pressure to conform. Honor your natural style, pace, and ways of thinking. The world does not need you to be someone else. It needs you fully present as yourself. The culmination of all awareness practices is living authentically. Decisions, relationships, work, and daily choices align with who you are at your core. When was the last time you made a choice entirely from clarity rather than expectation? Authenticity emerges from self-knowledge, reflection, and aligned action. It is the ultimate expression of quiet intelligence. This is not a final destination. Awareness and alignment are ongoing practices, evolving as you grow. Ask yourself tonight, am I listening to myself or just moving through life on autopilot? The quiet intelligence cultivated through this journey whispers in your decisions, presence, and relationships. It does not need applause. It does not need recognition. It simply works. Continue to observe, reflect, and integrate. Continue to pause and choose. Continue to align attention with intention. Because intelligence is not a trophy, it is a practice, and every moment you engage consciously is a victory. You are not behind, you are not failing, you are not broken. You are alive, aware, and beginning to live with the intelligence that has always been inside you. If you have felt drained, misunderstood, or quietly collapsing while appearing functional, this is your invitation to pause, reflect, and rebuild from within. Your mind is not broken. Your intelligence is not lacking. You are simply learning to listen, respond, and integrate with the wisdom that has always been inside you. And as you continue this practice, life begins to move differently. Moments stretch, decisions become clearer, relationships deepen, and the quiet, resilient intelligence within you finally finds its voice. As we reach the end of this journey together, take a moment to breathe and reflect. Notice how your mind feels right now. Notice the subtle shifts in perception, awareness, and understanding. This video is not about finishing a lesson. It is about beginning a relationship with yourself, your mind, your attention, and your inner intelligence. You are not alone in feeling unseen, misunderstood, or quietly exhausted. This is part of being human. The invitation now is simple. Continue to pause. Continue to observe. Continue to integrate what you notice. Intelligence is not something you prove. It is something you live. It whispers in your choices, your clarity, your presence. Thank you for being here, for listening, and for allowing yourself this space to notice yourself. If this resonated with you, consider pausing before your next action and asking, what patterns are showing up in my life today? How can I respond with awareness and alignment? Your journey is ongoing, and every conscious moment is a step forward.